All right, so it is 11 o'clock today, so great to see you. It looks like only James on the line. Well, let's see if we can get some more people here. We're going to be starting here today, kind of a different kind of day, but we got a lot of stuff to actually get through, especially when regarding with our fish. So I want to make sure we're going to go over the materials that we went over kind of yesterday. So first of all, it has on page, we're going to go over pages 389 to 390. So first of all, number one, it says, what are scientists who study fish? That would be ichthyologists. Ichthyologists are going to be those people who, in fact, go out and study those different species of animals. And it's very important for us because we need to know what are the animals that are in certain types of regions. Some animals might be kind of invasive. Some actually might not be. Right now, what we're going to be doing is through our study, we're going to be talking about bony fish first. First of all, bony fish pretty much dealing with an endoskeletal structure that they have. We also are going to have some different types of skeletal structures that we're going to see, especially when we get into sharks and manta rays, of course. But right now we're just dealing with the bony fish right now. We also, what are some nutritional facts that we know about fish? And what are some of those things that we know about them? Well, first of all, they have vitamins. Vitamins are very important for us. We need our daily intake of vitamins in order for us to really be healthy and have a great immune system, in order for us to even live great and healthy lives. Not only that, essential fatty acids. We've already talked about this even yesterday. You know, we need those fatty acids in order for us to get those trace elements that we really need for our diets, of course. And then for number 3 on our last one, iodine, of course, is our last one on our periodic table. We have all of those elements that are very important for us to consider, and we need to make sure that we have iodine in our diet so that we also have a very healthy lifestyle as well. Not only that, fish actually have gills. And the interesting thing, an interesting fact about fish is that they have an operculum. That operculum kind of opens and closes, allowing the water to go through their mouth. Even their nostrils are actually helping to get more water through their gills so that they can actually breathe, of course. Not only that, we had our fish diagram. And actually, you might see on my head today, I actually made a fish. So I'm actually kind of excited about this. Pretty sweet. We're going to be going through this for our review, of course. But first of all, let's go over your homework, and then we can continue after that. So number 1, what is the actual respiratory structure of the fish? That would be the gills. We've already talked about that. You know, we need fish to breathe. They don't really breathe like humans do, or mammals even, but they pretty much breathe with their gills. They have that oxygen exchange, of course, as well. Number 2, what is the largest body region of the fish? That is going to be the trunk. We've already said we're going to see a lot of the meat in that area, as well as some very vital organs that they need also. Another name for the fish's tail is the caudal fin. The caudal fin is that really large fin, of course, that helps them to really move in the water very quickly. Does anyone have any questions over the worksheet we had yesterday? Raise your hand or try to make yourself known. No one at all? All right, excellent. I think no one had anything. All right, fantastic. So we're going to continue with that. I really want to stress and make sure you guys understand the structures of the fish that we have here. So on my head, instead of drawing it on the board, I actually just made this kind of, I mean, like this little hat, this fish hat. And so let's kind of go through a couple of these things. You can see here, I actually might have to turn the hat. All right, there we go. That might work. So first of all, as you can see here, I only have like one eye I can see out of here. All right, so first of all, let's see. Yeah, the very top of my hat right there. Let's see if I can get this going. This way. So on the very top part, what is this fin called? The very top portion, it does have bones in them to help them out. What is that called? I'm going to say, Daniel, what is that called? Oh, no, it's not the caudal fin. We're going to have to go to someone else. Let's see. How about Yana? Looks like Yana's on the line here. Yana, what is the very top part of the fish? Oh no, that is incorrect. This is not good. Good thing I made a hat. Janice, what is the very top portion of the fish? What is this fin called? My fish is slowly dying. Oh no, this is not good. Good thing I made a hat for you guys today. Whew. Here we go. Janice, you have an answer? The dorsal fin. There you go. So you know sharks also have two dorsal fins. So here's that very top portion of our dorsal fin. I tried to make that. Obviously, it's probably not, doesn't really look like a dorsal fin, but I guess I tried to get it kind of close to that. Not only that, you can see it almost looks like I'm kind of an elephant, but elongated ears right here. But those are right behind the eyes. And I told you guys that what are those? What are those fins that are right behind the eyes? Abby, there you go, the pectoral fins. So they're able, you can even see in a lot of fish that they use those pectoral fins to even stay kind of like right side up pretty much. And also they can kind of use that even to go flap these and kind of go higher a little bit. So yes, very good, excellent. Not only that, we also have going further back from the eyes down to this other region. Oh, let's see if I can get it on camera here. Because I know I made this fin. Let's turn this right here. All right, so it is, oh no, here it is, there we go. So we have this fin right here. Actually, no, it's not that fin, it's this, oh, the screen is backwards. Right here, what is this fin right here? Someone help me with that. How about Andrew, what is this fin right here? The, not quite the pectoral. Someone help me with this one, right there. It's obviously behind the eye, but also behind that. What would that be? How about Venetius? There you go, the pelvic fin, of course. That's correct. Very good. So very important to know that. We also have the very back portion of the fin. That's right around here. So it's right there. What is that called? That big one? I know. I think Yana might have had that. Which one? What was that, Yana? The caudal fin. There you go. Very important structure to really move that fish through the water. All right. So our very last one that we have here. I showed you before I gave you away the pelvic fin there, but it's this one right here. I kind of made it large enough right there. You go, right here, right in the very back part, but it's between the pelvic fin as well as the caudal fin. What would that be? How about Jared? There you go, the anal fin. Very good. So a lot of the times we're going to actually see male and fish characteristics regarding that as well. I'm kind of cold here in my classroom, as a lot of you guys know, so I'm actually going to keep this hat on for the rest of the time here. Hopefully you guys have gone to ThinkWave, downloaded the sheet that we needed for today. It's on pages, we're going to be going over pages 390 to 391. Only a few questions for today because a lot of it was almost kind of reviewed here. But we also have some interesting ideas regarding that as well. We already kind of know fish. And one of those things, the biggest characteristics of fish is that they smell really bad. There's actually cells that are responsible for that and that actually produce that slippery and slimy and smelly mucus. That's going to be mucus cells. Mucus cells are going to be responsible for excreting that to the skin. Most of the time, that's for waterproofing the fish so that it's able not to really dry itself out, but also that it's able to even kind of protect itself. When you have a slippery surface, you're able to move through the water a lot better. So we have mucus cells that are responsible for that as well. If you guys remember back when we talked about amphibians, we talked about frogs. And one of the characteristics that we have, kind of similar to frogs and fish, is that they have chromatophores. Kind of interesting. Chromatophores are those pigmentations that they can actually produce. Think about what are those called? Chameleons. Chameleons have tons of chromatophores in their skin, and they're able to change their color in the environment that they're in. Not only that, we also talk about frogs, of course. We talked about the poison dart frogs. They have different colors as well, such as like like green and orange and all those different types of colors. So fish do in fact have chromatophores. So kind of cool, kind of interesting. Oh man, my hat almost fell. Okay, I was close. That's okay. I'll just put it lower on my face right here. All right, so we have chromatophores, of course, very important for you guys to understand that as well. Number 3 on your worksheet is kind of interesting as well. Unfortunately, I didn't put on my fish hat today. But number 3, used as bony plates located under the epidermis. Hopefully it says epidermis. I had to re-upload on pages for this page, so make sure it says epidermis. And that is going to be scales. So kind of an interesting idea here is that the thing with scales is that they're very tough material. And like I kind of said before, some characteristics of fish that we know is that these scales are pretty much responsible for protecting the fish. Kind of interesting, even with the mucus cells coating the fish, we also have those scales that are in the outsides of the fish that are responsible for protecting the fish as well. It's very tough substance as well. If you look on your worksheet, I thought this was really kind of interesting, and I learned this in college. I thought it'd be good for you guys to know as well. But different types of fish actually have different types of scales, which I didn't really know that going into biology, but now I do, and I want to share that knowledge with you guys. So you can see the first one, a bass. So tenoid, I think it's called tenoid, even though it has a C-T-E-N-O-I-D, I think it's called a tenoid. And so you can kind of see the different characteristics with that. It almost kind of looks like a fin. You have this structure right here, and you kind of have almost like a serrated edge right there. Most of the time you're going to see that type, go over here. So most of the time you're going to see that type of fish usually in like smaller types of fish that we have in my classroom. So kind of if you go to a freshwater lake, most of the time you're going to see that. Notice that cycloid, that's the next one on the right-hand side. This one's almost a little bit circular. I'm trying to find my eraser. I can't find my eraser, unfortunately. All right, so we have the cycloid. So these ones are most likely in a circle. So cyclical, you guys ride a bicycle. Most of the time these scales are actually going to be circular. And since they are in fact circular, that's kind of how they got their name, of course. Ganoid is the next one. Most of the time you're going to see gars with that. I believe it actually had gars here. So on the page 391, it actually has a paragraph about that. It says scales located just beneath the epidermis in the dermis of the skin. Fish scales vary in size and shape among different species of fish. Most fish have rounded or partially rounded scales that overlap considerably. A few fish, most notable gars, have thick diamond shape. So these scales are actually going to be a little bit different. These ones are actually going to be diamond shaped, which is kind of cool. That's kind of a poor drawing of a diamond shape. A little shame, but that's all right. Correct it here. All right, there you go. So a diamond shape. Most of the time you're going to see ganoids. That is the variety. I'm trying to stay out of overview. Let's go this side. I'm trying to stay out of so ganoids, I guess that kind of diamonds. They're in the diamond shape, of course. And our last one is our sharks. So kind of interesting. Look at the shark one, the placoid. Well, that's kind of a big word. It's good dog name, I guess you could say, or a pet name. If you want to name your pet placoid, that's kind of cool. But these ones are a little more, not really serrated, but a little more. They have those 3 points. Almost looks like, you guys like Star Wars. They have the rebel sign. It's almost like that backward. It's either the rebel or the other one. I forget. Those Star Wars fans. Try to help me out with that one. All right, so this one you're going to see going like this. And then most likely we're going to kind of see it like that. So that's going to be another different type of scale. Move to this side of the screen. And that type of scale is going to be a characteristic of sharks. Kind of interesting because when you look at a shark, most of the time you really don't think about sharks actually having scales. You just kind of think, you know, they're just kind of have that slippery skin, but they actually do have scales. So really interesting for you guys to know. Not only that, notice kind of how they overlap with each other. I had to put these pictures on here for you guys to see that as well. As we're talking about some of these scales, I was looking through the book, and I believe it talked about having a couple different types of animals that actually don't have scales. And I believe that was, yeah, here we go. So on page, okay, yeah, so going from page 391, right on the next page on 392 right there, it says scales that do not overlap, talking about the gars, of course. And then some fish, such as catfish and eels, notice that catfish and eels lack scales completely. So that's kind of interesting. Usually when you think about animals, of course, they usually have scales, and most of the time they actually really don't have scales, and that's kind of interesting to think about as well. Another interesting fact, it says under that as well, a fish does not grow additional scales as it increases in size. The existing scales merely become larger because most fish grow more rapidly during the summer than during the winter. The scales of most fish show annual growth rings. So kind of interesting. What you can do is you can go and you can take these scales, and they're going to have growth rings to it. Notice, look at some of those scales. See that how some of them have almost different circular shapes, such as this one might be coming out this way, this way, this way. Maybe this one's more cyclical. And then, of course, our diamond shape. Well, kind of interesting because you can actually know the age of a fish by measuring or counting those growth rings. So kind of cool. Trees are kind of like the same way. What you can do is cut it in half and then look at the different growth rings that are actually growing with it. So kind of cool, kind of interesting as well. So that was pretty much everything we needed to cover for today. I know it's kind of a shorter day. We didn't have any homework for tonight because it is Wednesday. So you guys make sure you just fill in those 3 questions. But before you leave, I actually want you guys to circle one of the scales that you like and tell me why. I want to know. Maybe some of you guys think I like the circle one because it looks like a bicycle wheel or something like that, or the diamond shape because I like jewelry or something. So make sure for your worksheet, and some of the people who aren't on here, I don't know if I see Elizabeth on here. Oh, Elizabeth just showed up. All right, or maybe she's been here the whole time. All right. Anyway, we can still continue. Make sure you circle the different types of scale. You need to choose one variety of scale that you like and circle it and tell me why. For me, I kind of like this one because it looks more like scary, I guess. And I don't really like scary things. I guess I would just choose that one because it looks cool. It has 3 points to them, and also sharks have it as well. So make sure you guys write some description. Make sure you circle. You can either circle the word that describes it, and then write the definition that goes along with it. That is everything we needed to really cover today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my analogy with my hat. If my tail is still looking good and everything. Also put eyes on it, so I worked really hard to make sure that this looks good for you guys. If you guys are ready to go, you guys may leave, and we'll see you tomorrow during class. If you have any questions, stay on the line. I will definitely love to help you guys out if you have any questions. Make sure you turn your homework in from yesterday by 3 p.m. Let's see. We had, all right, see you later. All right. Yes, Daniel, a question. Yes, that needs to be turned in today by 3 p.m. All right. Any more questions, John and Jared? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Let me see here. Not sure why that is the case. Look. Okay. So 390, 391. So I do have it uploaded. I have it uploaded as a document. So, are you guys using a computer? Do you guys have Word on the computer? Okay, so how did you guys download the other worksheets for the past 2 days? Oh, okay. All right, so maybe I need like some time or something like that. Okay, okay, awesome. I did get your guys' worksheet from the past couple days, so you guys are all set from for Friday, or sorry, for Wednesday. Oh man, from Monday and Tuesday. Sorry, man, losing it here. All right, no problem. All right, well, we'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, and see you tomorrow. Right? All right, we'll see you later. All right, John, you do the same. All right.